Think and Grow Rich, a summary by Napoleon Hill. Introduction. Originally published in 1937, Think and Grow Rich is one of the greatest self-help and personal development books of all time. Written by Napoleon Hill, the book contains the fundamental principles of success and achievement. While the title implies the fact that the book only deals with how to get rich, the author insists that the principles taught in this book can help people succeed in any kind of work, and to do and become anything they want and can imagine. Thoughts are extremely powerful tools, and when mixed with desire, purpose, and persistence, they can transform into financial and material wealth. Everything you desire can be obtained by applying the principles discussed in this book. Once you start thinking and growing rich, you will notice that wealth does not necessarily require hard work. All it requires is a powerful state of mind. A common mistake of people is to believe they have limits, to think there are many things they'll never be able to do. The purpose of this book is to provide the rules and principles required to succeed against all odds and defeat impossibility. This summary seeks to highlight key ideas and capture important lessons found in the original book. Unessential information has been removed to save the reader time. If you've already read the original, this summary will serve as a reminder of main ideas and key concepts. If you haven't, don't worry. Here, you'll find every bit of information and practical that's without having to use so much time to read the original book. Chapter 1. Desire. The starting point of all achievement. This might seem obvious, but growing rich starts with the desire to do so. However, wishing or hoping will not bring riches. The desire mentioned here is not simply wishing, but is an intense, burning obsession, which must be backed up by a plan and persistence in sticking to that plan. Such desire is capable of transmuting itself into physical equivalent. It can influence the subconscious mind to act beneath the surface in order to accomplish what is directed to accomplish. There are 6 steps you must follow in order to develop this kind of desire. 1. Fix your mind on the exact amount of money you desire. 2. Determine exactly what you intend to give in return for the money you desire. What are you willing to do? 3. Establish a definite date when you intend to possess the money you desire. 4. Create a definite plan for carrying out your desire and start putting it into action, whether you're ready or not. 5. Write down a clear and concise statement of the amount of money you intend to acquire, the time limit for this acquisition, and what you intend to give in return for the money, and a detailed description of the plan through which you intend to accumulate it. 6. Read the statement aloud, twice daily, in the morning and at night. Visualize yourself already in possession of the money. Remember, there's no limitations to the mind except those we acknowledge. Chapter 2. Faith. Visualization of and belief in attainment of desire. Faith blended with thought stimulates the subconscious mind into transmuting desire into reality. The subconscious mind needs to believe that something is possible in order to act on it. Faith can be defined as a state of mind which may be induced or created by affirmations and repeated instructions to the subconscious mind through the principle of autosuggestion. In other words, repeating positive affirmations to your subconscious mind is the most effective method of faith development. It is by this practice that you can convince your subconscious mind to transmute desire into its physical equivalent by the most practical procedure available. Keep in mind that the subconscious mind will transmute into its physical equivalent a positive or negative thought, as the subconscious mind does not differentiate between these 2 types of emotions. Every person is what he is as a result of dominating thoughts in his mind. So if you want to succeed, make a conscious effort to embrace positive thoughts and discard negative thoughts as often as possible. A conscious choice influences your subconscious, which in turn changes the outcomes in the external world. The easiest way to generate positive thoughts consistently in order to deceive your subconscious mind into achieving whatever you want it to achieve is by becoming self-confident. Self-confidence can be developed in 5 steps. 1. Know that you have the ability to achieve the object of your desire. Be persistent and take continuous action toward its attainment. Acknowledge the fact that the dominating thoughts of your mind will eventually reproduce themselves in outward physical action and gradually transform themselves into physical reality. Create a clear mental picture of who you want to become and what you want to achieve. 3. Know that through the principle of autosuggestion, any desire that you persistently hold in your mind will eventually come to fruition. 4. Write down your purpose and goals and never stop trying until you fulfill them. 5. Engage in activities or situations that benefit everyone. Encourage others to serve you by providing assistance to them. Eliminate hatred, ill will, envy, and selfishness by developing love for others, because negativity will never bring you success. Believe in others, and they will believe in you. Chapter 3. Autosuggestion, the medium for influencing the subconscious mind. Autosuggestion is the act of communicating to yourself using your conscious mind for the purpose of influencing your subconscious. In other words, autosuggestion can be defined as the self-suggestion of thoughts sent through the conscious to the subconscious mind. As humans, we can exercise complete control over what reaches our subconscious mind, but most people rarely exercise that control. Exercising this control requires both conscious attention and the mixing of emotion, faith, and belief with what you tell yourself. The subconscious mind takes and acts upon these affirmations that are matched with absolute faith and repetition. Reading aloud and visualizing yourself in the possession of a specific amount of money is one of the most effective methods of autosuggestion. By repeating this practice, you can create thought patterns and habits which are favorable to your efforts to communicate your desire into its monetary equivalent. Eventually, this will cue your subconscious to give you the inspiration necessary for creating specific plans that will help you accomplish your goal. Here's how you can practice the process of autosuggestion. 1. Find some quiet spot where you will not be interrupted or disturbed. Close your eyes and repeat aloud the written statement of the amount of money you intend to acquire, the time limit for its accumulation, and the description of the service or product you intend to give in return for the money. As you carry out these instructions, it is important to see yourself already in possession of the money. Here's an example. By the first day of January 2025, I will have in my possession $50,000, which will come to me in various amounts from time to time during the interim. In return for this money, I will ... Here, describe the service or merchandise you intend to sell. I will give the most efficient service of which I am capable, rendering the fullest possible quantity and the best possible quality. I believe that I will have this money in my possession. My faith is so strong that I can now see this money before my eyes. I can touch it with my hands. It is now awaiting transfer to me at this time, and in the proportion that I deliver the service, I intend to render in return for it. I am awaiting a plan by which to accumulate this money, and I will follow that plan when it is received. Number 2. Repeat this practice every night and morning before going to sleep and upon waking up. 3. Place a written copy of your statement where you can see it multiple times a day until you commit it to memory. Keep in mind that your ability to apply the principle of autosuggestion will mostly depend upon your capability to focus upon a given desire until that desire becomes a burning obsession. Chapter 4. Specialized knowledge, personal experiences or observations. There are two types of knowledge: general knowledge and specialized knowledge. General knowledge is of little use in accumulating wealth. On the other hand, specialized knowledge is necessary. You must have specific knowledge and practical skills in order to create something of value and be paid for it. We've all heard the saying, knowledge is power. However, the truth is slightly different. Knowledge is only potential power. It becomes power only if it's organized and intelligently directed through action towards a particular goal. Knowledge alone will not attract money. Contrary to popular belief, general and formal education does not correlate with wealth. Instead, specific knowledge applied to specific tasks is what brings money. Successful people never stop educating themselves by acquiring specialized knowledge related to their purpose, business, or profession. It's the unsuccessful people who make the mistake of believing that learning ends after acquiring formal education. Of course, you don't necessarily need to own the specific knowledge yourself to accumulate wealth. You can also make sure to have access to those who do. When specialized knowledge is beyond your ability or capacity, you can bridge the information gap by hiring people who have it, or by creating a mastermind group. There are many ways to acquire specialized knowledge. Here are some examples. One's own education and experience. Education and experience available through the cooperation with others, such as a mastermind group. Post-secondary institutions, public libraries, special training courses. However you gain access to specialized knowledge, always remember that you need to combine knowledge with imagination in order to have ideas and act on those ideas in order to accumulate wealth. Chapter 5. The Workshop of the Mind. Man can create anything he can imagine. A person's main limitation consists of a poor development and use of his imagination. There are two forms of imagination: synthetic imagination and creative imagination. The former rearranges existing ideas into new concepts, while the latter creates something from nothing. Synthetic imagination is a byproduct of old plans or ideas arranged into new combinations. It is the faculty used most by the inventor, with the exception of the genius who relies on creative imagination when he is unable to solve a problem through synthetic imagination. On the other hand, creative imagination is the faculty through which hunches and inspirations are received. It is by this faculty that all the basic or new ideas are handed over to man. Transforming desire into money requires specific plans, which usually come through synthetic imagination. However, it is creative imagination that often revolutionizes the world. Both synthetic and creative faculties of imagination become more alert with use, just as any muscle or organ of the body develops through use. There's a popular misconception that wealth comes from hard work. However, wealth is usually acquired as a result of the application of definite principles. When a creator of ideas and a seller of ideas unite their forces and work in harmony. The ideas that come from imagination are the forces that turn desire into reality. You must add imagination to specialized knowledge in order to grow rich. Ideas are intangible forces, but unlike the physical brains that give birth to them, they have the power to live on. Chapter 6. Organized planning. The crystallization of desire into action. This sixth step towards riches calls for an alliance with the group of people for the purpose of carrying out your plans, the mastermind group. Flawless plans are essential for the accumulation of riches, and only the skills and imaginations of numerous individuals will allow the development of perfect plans. There are several actions you must take in order to successfully build such a group and bring your plans to fruition. 1. Ally yourself with as many people as you need for the creation and implementation of your plan for the accumulation of money. 2. Before forming your mastermind team, decide what advantages and benefits you have to offer to your team members in return for their cooperation. No one will work indefinitely without some sort of reward or compensation. 3. Arrange to meet with your team at least twice a week until you have perfected the necessary plan for the accumulation of money. 4. Maintain harmony between yourself and the other members of the group. Failure to do so will unravel the plan. Keep in mind the following. You'll engage in an undertaking of major importance to you. To be successful, you must have plans which are faultless and well designed. No person has sufficient ability, experience, education, and knowledge to ensure the accumulation of wealth without the cooperation of other people. If your first plan fails, keep trying until you find a plan that works. Most people fail because they quit too soon instead of replacing their unsuccessful plans with new ones. There are two kinds of people in this world: leaders and followers. Decide from the onset which one you desire to become, because the difference in compensation is vast. Followers should not expect to reach the level of compensation of a leader, but many followers are foolish enough to think they will. Being a follower is not a disgrace, but it's no credit either. Many great leaders start as followers, but they are intelligent followers. They acquire knowledge from their mentors or leaders, then step up their game and become leaders themselves. The major attributes of leadership are as follows. 1. Unwavering courage. 2. Self-control. 3. A keen sense of justice. 4. Decisiveness. 5. Definitiveness of plans and direction. 6. Willingness to go beyond compensation. 7. A pleasing personality. 8. Sympathetic and understanding. 9. Meticulous. 10. Highly responsible. And 11. Cooperative. There are two main approaches to leadership: by consent, cooperative, or by force, authoritative. The first one is more effective. Those who are prone to leading by force must acquire a cooperative, consent-based method. Otherwise, they'll lose the support and respect of their subordinates, and consequently, they'll lose their position. The 10 major causes of failure in leadership are: 1. Inability to organize and master details. 2. Unwillingness to do whatever it takes to reach their goal. 3. Expectation of pay for what they know instead of what they do. 4. Fear of competition from subordinates. 5. Lack of imagination. 6. Selfishness and self-praise. 7. Intemperance. 8. Lack of loyalty. 9. Despotic arrogance. 10. Emphasis on rank and title. While the previous list refers to leadership failure, there are other 30 major reasons why people generally fail in life. 1. Unfavorable hereditary background. 2. Lack of a well-defined purpose in life. 3. Lack of ambition to transcend mediocrity. 4. Insufficient education. 5. Lack of self-discipline. 6. Ill health. 7. Bad childhood and upbringing. 8. Procrastination. 9. Lack of persistence. 10. Negative personality. 11. Lack of sexual self-control. 12. Desire to get something for nothing. 13. Indecisiveness. Fear. Poor choice of spouse. Under or over caution. Poor choice of business associates. Superstition and prejudice. Poor choice of vocation, career. Lack of effort. Poor financial skills. Lack of enthusiasm and passion. Intolerance to new ideas. Self-indulgence. Poor interpersonal skills and inability to cooperate. Inherited success and wealth. Dishonesty, egotism and vanity. Guessing instead of careful analysis. And 30. Lack of capital and financial resources. It is one thing to want more money, but it's another thing to be worth more. Many people feel entitled to having their wants met without giving something in return. Always remember that your true worth is entirely based on your ability to provide something of value and render useful service. Annual self-analysis is a crucial part of self-improvement. Every year, you should recognize your strengths, weaknesses, and whether or not progress is being made. Here are several questions to help you with the progress of self-analysis. Have I attained this year's goal? Have I lived up to my capabilities? Has the spirit of my conduct been harmonious and cooperative at all times? Have I permitted the habit of procrastination to decrease my efficiency? And if so, to what extent? Have I improved my personality? And if so, in what ways? Have I been persistent in following my plans through to completion? Have I reached decisions promptly on all occasions? Have I permitted fear to decrease my efficiency? Have I been either overcautious or undercautious? Has my relationship with my associates in work been pleasant or unpleasant? If it's been unpleasant, has the fault been partly or wholly mine? Have I dissipated any of my energy through the lack of concentration of effort? Have I been open-minded and tolerant? In what way have I improved my ability to render service? Have I been intemperate in any of my habits? Have I expressed, either openly or secretly, any form of egotism? Has my conduct towards my associates garnered respect? Have my opinions and decisions been based upon guesswork or accuracy of analysis and thought? Have I followed the habit of budgeting my time, my expenses, and my income? And have I been conservative in these budgets? How much time have I devoted to wasteful effort, which I might have used to my advantage? How may I rebudget my time and change my habits so I'll be more efficient during the coming year? Have I been guilty of any conduct which was not approved by my conscience? In what ways have I rendered more service and better service than I was paid to render? Have I been unfair to anyone, and if so, in what way? If I had been the purchaser of my own services for the year, would I be satisfied with my purchase? Am I in the right vocation, position, or career? And if not, why not? Has the purchaser of my services been satisfied with the service I have rendered? And if not, why not? How do I rate myself on the fundamental principles of success? Keep in mind that the planning process must be continuous and persistent, since you may fail several times before succeeding, despite your best efforts. For your mastermind group, you must select individuals who are likewise persistent and determined to help you succeed. In addition, you have to develop the qualities of a leader if you expect to successfully lead such individuals in any endeavor. Chapter 7. Decision: the mastery of procrastination. One cause of failure stands out above all others when it comes to successful and unsuccessful people: the lack of decision. Procrastination is a common fault that you must conquer if you want to be successful. With no exception, all successful people have the tendency to make decisions promptly and change them slowly. Those who make decisions promptly and confidently know what they want and usually get it. On the other hand, people who fail to acquire riches have the tendency to make decisions very slowly and change them often. People who are easily influenced by the opinions of others don't have a burning desire of their own and are not likely to succeed. Great accomplishments come from desire and courageous decisions. So, always strive to make decisions for yourself and follow them. If necessary, take advice from your mastermind group. If you need to gain some information from other people, attain it quietly without revealing your purpose. Keep in mind that everyone you interact with is also seeking money and opportunity. If you talk too openly about your plans or ideas, don't be surprised to find out that someone else has put them into action. The ability to make prompt decisions comes from knowing what you want, and it is that ability that defines leaders. The world has the habit of making room for those whose words and actions show that they know where they're going. Keep your eyes and ears wide open and your mouth closed if you wish to acquire the habit of prompt decision. Those who talk too much do little else. Chapter 8: Persistence, the sustained effort necessary to induce faith. Persistence is a key element in the process of transmuting desire into reality. The power of will is the basis of persistence. Persistence is a state of mind, and like any other state of mind, it can be cultivated. Persistence is based upon the following factors: a clear purpose. Knowing what you want is probably the most important step towards the development of persistence. A strong motive compels you to surpass many difficulties. Desire. It is relatively easy to acquire and maintain persistence in pursuing the object of your desire. Self-reliance. Belief in your own ability to carry out a plan encourages you to be persistent and stick to it until you've reached your goal. Definitiveness of a plan. Organized plans give you direction, so they encourage persistence. Accurate knowledge. Knowing that your plans are sound encourages persistence. Guessing instead of knowing destroys it. Cooperation. Sympathy, mutual support, and harmonious cooperation with others develop persistence. Willpower. The ability to concentrate your thoughts upon the creation of plans for the accomplishment of a definite purpose leads to persistence. Habit. Persistence is a direct result of habit. How to develop the habit of persistence. 1. Have a defined purpose backed by a burning desire for its fulfillment. 2. Create a definite plan and act on it. 3. Close your mind tightly against all discouraging and negative influences, including negative suggestions of family, friends, and acquaintances. 4. Associate yourself with one or more individuals who will encourage you to follow through with both plan and purpose. Chapter 9: The Power of the Mastermind, the Driving Force. Power, in this context, may be defined as organized and intelligently directed effort and knowledge that converts desire into money. There are 3 major sources of knowledge: infinite intelligence, which you can access with the use of creative imagination; accumulated experience; formal and informal education; experiment and research, directly gathering, classifying, and organizing new facts. Knowledge can be acquired from any of these sources. However, you need to convert it into power by organizing it into definite plans and by acting on those plans. Organized effort is mainly produced by the mastermind group through the harmonious coordination of effort of two or more people towards a definite end. No two minds ever come together without creating a third one. Chapter 10: The Mystery of Sex Transmutation. The human mind responds to stimuli through which a person can increase his energy vibration. These stimulants are sexual expression, love, money, power, fame, music, relationships and mastermind group activities, the suffering of others, autosuggestion, fear, narcotics and alcohol. Sex is undoubtedly the most powerful of all human desires. So strong is the desire for sexual contact that many people often run the risk of destroying their reputation to have it. Sex transmutation occurs when sexual energy is directed towards things of other nature. When harnessed, it may be used as a powerful force to climb the ladder of success and accumulate riches. This, of course, takes huge amounts of willpower, but the reward is worth the effort. Very few people become highly successful before the age of 40. Success is often achieved between the ages of 40 to 60 when people have learned to transmute their sexual energy properly. Sexual desire is innate and should not be repressed or eliminated. However, it should be channeled to enrich the body, mind, and spirit of a person. The emotion of sex is a virtue only if used wisely and with discrimination. Otherwise, it may be misused to such an extent that it debases instead of enriches both body and mind. Human beings are the only creatures who can violate the sexual laws of nature. While all other animals have sex in season and in moderation, man pursues sex in every season. Reckless indulgence in sexual habits and experiences can be just as damaging as severe drug and drinking habits. Genius can be achieved by combining channeling sex, love, and romance. These three emotions working together in harmony are capable of driving people to incredible heights. Chapter 11: The Subconscious Mind, the Connecting Link. The subconscious mind acts first on those desires that have been mixed with faith and emotion. The subconscious mind does not stay idle. If you fail to nourish it with positive thoughts and desires, it will process whatever other thoughts are present in your conscious mind. There are 7 major positive emotions that you should embrace in order to positively influence your subconscious: desire, faith, love, sex, enthusiasm, romance, and hope. On the other hand, there are 7 major negative emotions that should be avoided at all cost: fear, jealousy, hatred, revenge, greed, superstition, and anger. Positive and negative emotions cannot occupy the mind simultaneously. One or the other must dominate. So make sure that positive emotions dominate your mind through habit and autosuggestion. Chapter 12: The Brain, a Broadcasting and Receiving Station for Thought. The human brain is both a receiving and broadcasting station for the vibration of thought. When stimulated, the brain becomes much more receptive to the vibration of thought. This process of stimulation begins with a desire and emotion. Through strong emotions, the vibrations of thought may be increased. When it comes to intensity, sexual energy stands at the top of the list of human emotions. The brain which has been stimulated by sexual desire vibrates at a much higher rate than it does when sexual desire is absent. There are 3 actions that you can take to operate your mental broadcasting station: creative imagination, autosuggestion, and the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind acts as the receiver, while imagination in the process of autosuggestion acts as the broadcaster or sender. The methods of applying these principles have already been discussed. The process begins with desire. Chapter 13. The Sixth Sense. The Door to the Temple of Wisdom. The sixth sense is that part of the subconscious mind which has been referred to as the creative imagination, through which you will be notified of opportunities in time to embrace them and warned of impending dangers in time to avoid them. The concept is probably best summed up as what we call intuition. The author describes a mental exercise that takes the concept of visualization even further. Right before going to sleep, he closes his eyes and interacts with an imaginary council of advisors, which for him consists of men such as Edison, Lincoln, Ford, Emerson, Napoleon, Newton, Darwin, Socrates, and Carnegie. He has selected each man for a certain trait that he wants to acquire and acts as the chairman of this imaginary council. This practice is best way to channel your sixth sense because of the way in which it feeds the subconscious via autosuggestion with particular characteristics that you wish to emulate. Chapter 14. How to outwit the 6 ghosts of fear. Clearing the brain for riches. There are 6 basic fears that we all suffer from at one time or another. The fear of poverty, the fear of criticism, the fear of ill health, the fear of loss of love of someone, the fear of old age, the fear of death. Most people are fortunate if they do not suffer from the entire 6. However, since faith cannot coexist with any kind of fear, one must master all 6 in order to grow rich. Fear clouds judgment, impedes imagination, undermines enthusiasm, discourages initiative, kills off self-reliance, leads to uncertainty of purpose, encourages procrastination, and makes self-control an impossibility. Nevertheless, fear is nothing more than a state of mind, and because you have control over your state of mind, you can always exercise your will and banish fear, anxiety, worry, and all alibis that justify failure or lack of action. If only I had more time or more money or a better education, etc. Conclusion. Think and Grow Rich provides all the tips you'll ever need to succeed in everything you do and to become the person you always wanted to be. Although Napoleon Hill's advice generally aims to help you increase your income, you can apply these principles to accomplish any other goals and enrich every aspect of your life. The next step is to take action right now. These principles are the stimuli with which you gain the ability to manipulate your subconscious mind. Do not become discouraged if your first attempt fails. Remember that the subconscious mind can be influenced only through habit and genuine faith. It takes time to master faith. Be patient. Don't quit. Be persistent.